So I was just looking at my my battery, my 48-volt battery, and I realised that these connections that I've done for the this is actually the cable that connects into my Evo Spirit e-propulsion, Spirit motor. It comes with like this super automatic switch off switch, which I don't think I need really, but I kind of hacked it together. I soldered, you might see I soldered this side of the connector together, and then that connector will fit into the ones on the end here. You can just make that out, sorry about that. So I just thought I need to get some shrink wrap over that, heat shrink, sorry, over that, just to give it a little bit more waterproofing. I don't think this is going to cop it, so I've got to actually desolder this first. So let's go do that. Right, I'm going to try and do this freehand with a soldering iron that's not particularly clean, but it has, yeah, it has managed to do that. So the reason I've got to uncouple it is because I've got to slide this over first. I don't want to sort of just chop this off. I could just chop this wire off, but there is, you feel inside there's 2 wires on there, so it could get complicated. So I just think for a test, I'm just gonna do this. Although that might, I only need a really, you know, hot, I don't need a permanent connection. So that seems to have done pretty well. So let's just try and shrink it on and see where we get to on that. I only need a rough, I only need it to be rough. So I've got my Dremel gas heater here. Just need to, I actually use it on a little bit of a less aggressive light. And try and, you can see how that's shrinking already. So you can see that I don't think that's going to go down anymore, but that's going to be way better than what I had before. So we'll let that seal up, and then I think I can shove a little bit of glue or sealant in here, or even you can see the glue inside, look, you know, just to stop, you know, give it a little bit of waterproofing, but actually more important is to stop them from touching each other. Because I don't really want to short out a 48-volt battery in the middle of a lake. You know, it's never a good idea. So I'll go and do the other one now as well. Okay, so there it is, finished. I'm just going to fill these little holes here, although they might have sealed quite well with the glue actually. Oh, it's still a bit hot, that. So they may have sealed off, but I can finish that top with a little bit of glue because they're very small wires to put that through. But this side's really really sealed up well. That's sealed up well there. So I think these are ready to go. So this end will plug into the battery here, and then the other end will plug into the motor. The reason I've done this is not only to extend obviously the life of the motor. This almost doubles my battery power, but also so I can move the battery further forward, because the battery on the motor is quite heavy, and I think especially on the sea hopper, if I can move it, yeah, anything I can move forward in terms of weight on the boat is a real bonus. So yeah, I'm looking forward to testing this week. So I've come back to this little pintle that's from my spare rudder, and I've been trying to grind this down because this is too thick. And you can see I've been using the standard Dremel metal and stone grinders, and it's just kind of covered it in aluminium, and it just doesn't seem to want to grind anything anymore now. So I don't know whether that's ruined. I tried it with this one as well, and you can see that one's also not looking great. So I got these, which are like designed to actually grind away metal, and I've actually been having a quick go with this one here. So I've got loads of little shapes, as you can see, so you can get into these corners nicely and whatnot. So I've been using this, and you can just see probably from all the bits on here that this has been brilliant. So let's have a quick go. So we've got it close enough now. If you look, it's got to be 8mm all the way up, and you can see, oh, hang on, we'll get it in there. So you can see it's very, very close. If you go all the way around, it goes up to about 8 point. It's little parts where it's a little bit bigger. But I think I've got to the point now where I'll put it on the boat, I'll try it and see where it's at. If it slots in nicely and it works, I don't, you know, there's no point taking any more off. I was worried this was hollow, but it's actually it's definitely solid. That it's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, that's really good, because I've really struggled to find new ones of these this slim, and I did find one version of it, and it was like 30 quid. So I'm really glad I've managed to find a solution to it. So I've been asked by a few people what 3D printers I use, and this is the first one. This is my go-to printer, really, the Ultimaker 3S, and I've actually had quite a lot of Ultimakers from the very first ones that were kit built all the way through the 1, the 2, the 2S or 2 Plus, and now the 3, and the 3S is the latest one. And they are amazing. They're really fast, they're really reliable, they're really brilliant. They have a few quips and problems, but if you actually want a 3D printer that just works out of the box with very little tweaking, and you can just get on and play with it and practice with it, then the Ultimaker 3S currently for me is the one, my go-to one. It's got Wi-Fi, it connects up really quickly. Cura is a really great slicing app, you know, and I save a lot of models and it'll print really quickly when I need to. But I do use it primarily for you know, one-offs, things like that. This is my Raise 3D E2. Now this is a much larger printer. And it's the first time I've really veered away from Ultimaker in many, many years. I had some MakerBots as well, early MakerBots in the early days. But this printer is like absolutely amazing for doing batch runs of things. So you'll see it's got twin nozzle. Mind you, my Ultimaker's got twin nozzles. But this one has got some tricks up its sleeve. First of all, it prints absolutely perfectly. The amount of failures I've had on this machine in the last 12 months, I can count on my left hand. You know, even the Ultimaker, things will unattach from the plate, especially if you know, depending on your model, just doesn't attach very well. This, they stick like glue, and you can leave this printing for 24 hours and it just does the job. The other trick it's got up its sleeve is you can put PLA in both of the nozzles, and it can mirror print. So whatever you print on this nozzle just mirror prints. So basically you can print in half the time or print double the parts in that time. And I print loads of stuff for work where we need 200 or 300 parts, and this is the machine we go to when we need to do that. So prototyping, it's a bit slow, this machine. You know, it goes through way too, you know, loads of checks before each print, and that it does connect to the our network and whatnot, but it's just a lot slower. It prints a lot slower, and I don't think you can tune this machine quite as well as you can with the Ultimaker. But where it wins is when you need something reliable printing, a big print or lots of parts printing. And this is the one I go to for that. Not expensive as well. It's cheaper than the Ultimaker, this printer. I love it. I love this printer, and I love the other one for their different reasons. So this is my workshop, and this machine I've just recently, I can just see a little bit better there. This machine, I've just recently built this this door frame and frame for it, and as you can see, it's a CNC router, and I think it's the medium-sized Shapeoko. To be really fair, I've hardly used this machine. You build it yourself. It was pretty straightforward to do. If you're, you know, handy, it's very easy. And this machine is a reductive, I think they call it, machine, whereas a 3D printer is additive. This, you start with a block of wood and you remove stuff to get your part. The reason I've got this is that, well, one, for experimenting for work largely. I don't think those experiments works out for us for doing parts quicker and more, just quicker and more parts and out of better materials than you could with 3D printing. But what I think it will be good for is all kinds of little projects where, you know, larger pieces that, you know, need quite fast processing. I'm hoping to do some quite exciting stuff with it. You know, I've got a potential maybe van build I'd love to do, and you know, maybe this will come into its own then. But until then, we probably won't see much of it. But I'm not going to get rid of it. I love it. I've played with it, you know, a little bit and really enjoyed getting to grips with it. And now that we've got this door on here, we can use it a lot more safely and without all the dust going everywhere. We just need a vacuum to sort of sort that out a little bit better. So they're my three main machines that I use and I do everything on, and people have asked what I use, so there we go. I hope that helps people. I'm always willing to answer any questions on how to 3D print and all sorts, so you know, don't worry about asking anything you want to. Thanks for watching.